Hello everyone! Today I'm going to be doing a video on how I designed my new Witchy Box. So this box is where I keep all my things that I use to do spells or rituals or ceremony, and I like to have everything in a box just because it's easier to travel and it's just easier to store, and everything is in one place, and I just really like to have that. So I decided to go with a bigger one. I had an old one that was smaller. If you guys want to see the video on that one, I'll put the link to that video in the description down below. But without further ado, I'm just taking off the hardware from this box. This isn't very huge and it's not super deep either, and I wanted that on purpose. I just felt like it was just better to do that. So starting off with the designing, I wanted to wood burn using this tool, some designs that I had penciled in. And I like penciling it in just because sometimes I want to change part of the design or something like that. So I penciled in a design that I really liked and felt called to do. I've waited a couple months to actually do this because I wasn't sure what wanted to be on the box. I don't feel like it's really my decision what I put on the box. I feel like the box tells me what it wants to be. I decided to put some stars and a moon, and I didn't want to do a classic crescent like I usually do. I actually kind of wanted to do partially like between a full and a crescent. I just felt like that was more what I was feeling drawn to, and I had never actually done a moon design like this on anything, so it made me a little bit nervous, but I went with it and I really like how it turned out. I decided to go with the star design and the tree design because with me adding Willow to my name and really having more earth stuff incorporated into my spiritual practice than before, I just wanted to incorporate that into the box as well, and I was happy when I drew the tree on the box and it just felt right. And I was going to make it a willow tree, but I kind of decided to just let it be whatever tree it wanted to be. I don't really even know what tree this would be called. With willow trees, they usually have all of the bits hanging down, like the weeping willows were what I was thinking of when I was actually drawing the tree on the box, but it didn't end up being that, and I just slowly take my time with it. And what I like about decorating boxes with wood burning is that, I don't know, it just feels more inclusive and integrated into it, so I really like it. And one thing that I found is when I wood burn into boxes and things like that, I can't really control where my tool goes. For the most part I can, but the wood grain always kind of guides the wood burning tool, and even though in the beginning that kind of frustrated me because I'm a perfectionist, so I like to be in control, it kind of forced me to just let whatever was going to happen, because with wood burning you can't really go back unless you really sand it down. So it kind of forced me to just be okay with whatever the box wanted to be. So I decided to erase what was left of the pencil marks, and I changed to a different tip. I changed one to a finer tip. This tip actually isn't supposed to be bent, but one time when I was using this tool, I was pressing too hard and it actually bent it a little bit, so it's just like a bent tip now. But this tool I just used to kind of put more detail into the tree. I wanted to have it feel more solid, and I wanted to have more wood grain in the tree trunk and things like that, so I just used it to kind of make more of points on stars that I felt were just kind of lacking points, and then I also just used it to fill in the wood grain. For the inside of the box, I decided to just go ahead and paint the inside. I'm using a metallic gold paint mixed with a glow-in-the-dark paint and just using a big brush, and I'm just mixing those together pretty much in equal parts, a little bit more metallic paint I think than glow paint, but I didn't know how this was going to turn out. I just had an idea in my head of, hey, wouldn't it be cool if it glowed in the dark too, but it didn't really end up working. So if you are thinking of doing this, I don't know if it's just because the metallic paint is too pigmented, but it just didn't work out the way that I wanted it to. So I just ended up actually just using the gold paint alone instead of mixing it with the glow-in-the-dark paint. I just decided to paint the inside of the box, and the reason being is that on my old box, I painted the outside of the box and not the inside of the box. And what I did was I wood burned a design into the box, and then I painted inside the wood burn areas, and then I sealed it with a sealer. And I really liked that. However, what I decided to do on this box was to paint the inside rather than the outside, because even though I would like to have color on the outside, I felt like if I was traveling with it and it was in my suitcase, I wouldn't want any kind of clothing or whatever in my suitcase rubbing away any kind of paint, or paint getting onto my clothing or whatever. And I didn't have any sealer for the paint, and I didn't feel like going out and buying it. I just wanted to use what I had in my craft collection so far, so I just decided to just go ahead and paint the inside only. Initially, I was kind of bummed that I wasn't painting the outside, but it kind of makes the inside of the box feel like this sacred space and just this celebrated area where it's like just sacred. I don't know really how to describe it, but it just felt that way to me. And it also took me a while to decide whether I wanted to do gold or silver, because I'm really partial to silver, but gold called to me and that was what the box wanted. So I followed the box directions and painted it gold on the inside. And I did 2 coats, and I was able to put the box back together within maybe 10 or 15 minutes of it sitting in front of a fan, just because it dries so quickly. Putting the hardware back on the box, I just decided not to modify it in any way, spray paint it or whatever, because it just matched with it and it's just the way that it's going to be right now. If I choose to change it later down the line, I can. And one thing that's really nice about this box is that if I want to add to it, I can. And if I want to, change out to a different box, I can. But on the inside, even though I didn't do the extra design that I thought I was going to do, I just decided that if I did want to add it later, I could. It's definitely not as fancy as my original one was, but I kind of like it. I like it in its simplicity, and I like how it turned out. So yeah, if you guys liked this video, please give it a thumbs up and subscribe to my channel if you want to see more videos from me. Click the subscription button if you're not already subscribed, and hit the bell notification button if you want to get notified whenever I post a new video. I hope you guys enjoyed it, and I will talk to you guys later. Bye!